Hi everyone, it's Claire back again. Are we ready for some more autumn greens? Today I've got more dusty, muted fall autumn greens. So at the top here I've got some sage greens, and at the bottom I've got some cool toned dusty greens, which I love wearing this type of shade any time of year, but particularly in the autumn. So if this isn't your type of green, then feel free to come back for the next video, which will be khaki greens, and we're going to be looking more at this type of shade, so a much darker, a brown and grey toned green. So let's make a start with these sage muted greens. So I think to a lot of people this will also be a khaki green, but a kind of washed out khaki, pale khaki, but to me they're more like sage type of shades. This one, funnily enough, is called Olive, which confuses the matter even further. It was so difficult for me to decide what categories to put these beautiful greens into. This is a Barry M polish that I actually picked up from Pound World before it shut down, and it is a fantastic formula, as most of the Barry M creams are. Really, really enjoy this shade. So that's Olive from Barry M. This is very similar, but I think it's got slightly more green in it. This is Stranger Tides. I believe is from the Pirates of the Caribbean collection. Yeah, it's similar, but it's a little bit more the Barry M looks a little bit more like a putty shade, and there's a slight bit more, there's a dog hair there from Marwin. There is a little bit more green in Stranger Tides. And then we've got another similar shade. This is Butter London Bossy Boots. And this has managed to escape quite a few destashes. So that just tells you that I love this type of shade, because I'm usually quite free and easy with destashing Butter Londons. I hope you can see against the white background there that there is a slight difference. And this one here is Tender Buds, and this was sent to me by Mrs. Cronall, and this is H&M polish, so it's starting to get a little bit darker. So they do look very similar in the bottles, but slightly different on the nail. And then this one here is Glitter Baby Nails Water Lily, and this is a little bit darker. I don't know if it's darker than Tender Buds. Yes. Phew, my little destashing heart says. So they are slightly different. I absolutely love this type of pale muted green, especially in the autumn. And this one here is Fool's Gold from Mesmerist Lacquer. And this has got a gold shimmer. So definitely needs 2 coats. But the base shade is very similar actually to the, it's very similar to the Barry M Olive, but it's got that gold shimmer. Mesmerist Lacquer is a UK indie brand, and I do hope she comes back at some point. This is a beautiful Safe to Sage, and this was sent to me by Anna. It's a Moonshine Manny, I believe, a Facebook exclusive, I believe. And this has got some absolutely fantastic crystal flakes in there. Beautiful, beautiful shade. And this one is a little bit darker with a silver shimmer, and this one is called Boyfriend from Cure Bazaar. Yeah, this is much darker actually. A lot darker on the nail than it is in the bottle. So that's Boyfriend from Cure Bazaar, fantastic formula. And finally in this category we have a Manhattan, and this is called Urban Chameleon, and I think this was probably sent to me by Anna. And it is a fantastic formula. You can't really see too much of that shimmer on the nail. So those are my sage greens. We'll come back and do a second coat, but I'm going to now move on to the cool toned greens. And the cool toned greens for me kind of fit into this category. They're definitely not khaki greens, they're not dark enough. So let's make a start with the lightest one. This one here is Pretty Cool Life from Essence, and this was sent to me by Kat, and I absolutely love this shade. It reminds me of a type of ceramic. Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful, cool toned pale green. And then a similar shade, this is actually a thermal polish, and it's from Ada's Nails. It's the charity polish, the breast cancer awareness polish for March. This is Erin. So you're not going to be able to see the transition here on the swatch wheel. It's quite sheer, needs to be built up, but I will show you some swatch pictures of this. I'll show you my swatch picture and then a much better swatch picture. This is another very pretty cool tone green, and this is Spearmint from Barry M. This has got lots of blue in it actually, but it's still predominantly a green, a very, very cool tone green. So that's Barry M Spearmint. And this to me looks similar, but perhaps a little bit darker. This is number 346, and it's a Kiko polish that I think was sent to me by George. George sent me a couple of Kikos. If I'm getting the people wrong who sent me the polishes, I do apologise. I'm old and I've got a terrible memory. So that is the Kiko polish. It is similar, but a little bit darker than Spearmint. And this is an old favourite of mine. This is Cardamom from Barry M. I was actually sent a backup of this polish, which I'm very, very grateful for. I need to start wearing this more. In fact, I might pull this out as one of my green and blue September nails. Yeah, I think I need to pay tribute to this beautiful, beautiful polish. If your nails are short, you can definitely get this opaque in one coat. So that's Cardamom from Barry M, and it's from that infamous collection that Kath from With Nails and I absolutely adores, and I can see why. Yeah, this was my favourite green for a very, very long time. It's still up there as a favourite. That's Cardamom from Barry M. This polish here is called Off the Grid. Definitely a cool toned green. I've just got enough swatches left for the rest of the polishes, so it's going to fill up a full wheel. That's Off the Grid from H&M. This is going to be so difficult for me. These are some of my favourite greens. And next up is a Revlon Colour Stay, and this has got a very, very slight shimmer in. It's very, very subtle, and it's called Spanish Moss. Again, it's a very cool tone green. I'm struggling to hold this swatch wheel without ruining any of the other swatches. That's very, very similar. Wow, I think I've got a dupe there. That's very similar to Off the Grid from H&M. Interesting. Okay, two final spaces here, and one of them is definitely going to be for Super Cooper. This is from the Stoned Crystal Shimmer collection. I've had a few of the polishes from this collection in and through my collection, but I've destashed a couple of them, passed a few of them on, but I've always kept hold of Super Cooper. It's just a beautiful just almost tipping into khaki. And it's got that fantastic silver crushed flake, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful cool toned green. Finally, this one is quite dark. This is Mumma Lou, which was a custom polish made for me from Pretty Perfect Polish, and this is just tipping into an army green, but it's still quite cool toned, and it's got a beautiful silver shimmer. And again, a fantastic formula. Really pretty. So Mumma Lou is one of the various nicknames that I've got for Marwin. There are a number of them, but he does respond to Mumma Lou. So that is Mumma Lou from Pretty Perfect Polish. So that is the first coat of my sage and cool toned greens. I'm going to put a second coat on everything, and we can come back and see how many do you think I'll be destashing. I don't think it'll be that many. Okay, so here's a second coat on everything. I seem to have got pet hair and cotton pads everywhere, so I'll try and make this quick. It's just got too messy trying to fit 18 polishes on one wheel. So I'm definitely going to keep olive. It's a beautiful, almost taupe green. I'm going to keep Stranger Tides, and I was debating about Bossy Boots, but I just think I've used quite a bit of it. The bottle's a bit of a mess. So I'm probably just going to keep hold of it. These two are quite similar. I dropped a cotton pad on there, but I'm going to keep Tender Buds from H&M, and I'm going to finally let Water Lily from Glitter Baby Nails, which is another UK indie brand that doesn't make polish anymore. They're too similar, and I prefer the H&M. I'm going to move over these quickly because I've just made them all textured and lumpy and horrible from the cotton bud. That's exactly where I dropped it. So yeah, that I'm going to keep the Mesmerist Lacquer Fool's Gold, and I'm obviously going to be keeping the Moonshine Mani Safe to Sage. These two polishes here do look too similar to each other to me, so I'm going to keep the Cure Bazaar Boyfriend, and I'm going to pass on the Manhattan because it's just the shimmer's just a little bit too subtle for me, and it's too similar to this one. I'm going to keep Pretty Cool Life. It's a beautiful, beautiful green. I might actually pull this out to wear. This is Erin. I'm going to keep this. I don't have too many thermal polishes, so I'm definitely going to keep that one. Spearmint looks very similar to another polish that I've got. I'm thinking possibly of Poolside Service, I think it's called, from Essie. So I might need to do a comparison with this one. But that's Spearmint, lots of blue in there from Barry M. Going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep the Kiko. So it's very slightly different. I will definitely be keeping Cardamom. Now these two polishes here are very similar to each other. This one is the H&M Off the Grid, and this one here is Spanish Moss from Revlon, and I actually prefer the Spanish Moss, so I'm going to destash the H&M, and I'm going to be keeping Super Cooper and Mumma Lou. So in the end, I'm just destashing 3 polishes, 2 sage type shades and one of the I would keep this one. It is a beautiful polish Off the Grid, but it's just too similar to Spanish Moss. So I'm keeping 15 and destashing 3. So let me know what your favourite sage and cool toned green nail polishes are. Is this your type of green? It's definitely my go-to type of shade. It's the biggest category I think that I've got, even more than the khaki greens. I've obviously got, it kind of panders to my neutral heart as well as the green, so I do love this shade. So let me know if you've got any of these polishes, which are your favourites from your collection, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!